What's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode here at Vivid Iceland. Today we're starting the day in Borganes, and from here we're headed off to Snæfellsnes, my favorite place in Iceland. So we got a couple of places on the map that we haven't been to yet. We're going to be checking them out in addition to, of course, some of the more popular spots. It's summertime, so things should be looking nice and green with a lot of flowers and stuff blooming. So I'm quite excited to see what it looks like out on the peninsula. So let's hit the road. We started off our trip with a delightful meal at this bakery and cafe on the outskirts of Borganes. Highly recommended as the view from the eating area is spectacular. We set off from the bakery and made our first stop at a natural hot spring located roughly at the entrance to the peninsula. It's not signposted anywhere, so it's very easy to miss this one. And the road to this location isn't paved or maintained, so driving here without a 4x4 may prove tricky at times. Once reaching the parking lot, it is only a 3 to 5 minute walk to the bathing spot. Right, so here we are at Landbrotalaug. This is one of those natural hot springs that you can find here on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula. It's quite literally a pipe that's been dug into the ground. The hot water spills out and fills one of these three little pools that we have here. So we're just resting our feet before we head a little bit further onto the peninsula. Okay, so we're at my favorite mineral spring here on the peninsula. I'm going to fill up my bottle before we head further down the road and see what else there is to see on this kind of rainy day now. It's no longer sunny. Anyway, let's get to it. A trip here to Snæfellsnes isn't complete without filling your water bottles up at this naturally sparkling mineral water spring. Make sure this is on your itinerary. Driving further along the main road, we had to make a stop at Ytri Tunga, the famous seal beach. Be aware that you now have to pay to park here. The landowners have set this up in order for them to maintain the area and protect the seals. So as a result, the area is in much better shape now than it was when I first visited in episode 2, which I'll link up the top now. Anyway, I'm glad we came during this time of year because there was a huge amount of wildlife at this beach, and they were all with their young. We saw a large colony of eider ducks and their little hatchlings playing around in the small rock pools at the beach, which was very cute to watch. And if you remember the last episode, set on the black sand beach, we also came across nesting eider ducks and managed to collect some of their expensive down. Link is up top for that one. And finally, we were treated with the sight of a mother seal feeding her young pup upon a seaweed-covered skerry in the distance. He looks like a chubby little pup. I'd say he's quite well fed. On the walk back to the car, we came across vast quantities of washed up seaweed on the shoreline. I'm still on a quest to find out whether or not this stuff is edible, so please let me know what I can and can't eat in the comments below. Okay, we made a quick pit stop here at Rauðfeldsgjá. I think I pronounced that one a little bit better than last time. Anyway, you can check out my last video on Snæfellsnes where we went inside the canyon, had a bit of a wander around. It's a little bit too cloudy for my liking. It's probably going to be all misted up inside, so we're going to continue on down the road and head towards Arnarstapi, maybe grab a bite to eat. As we drove towards the canyon, we saw the sun starting to poke its way out through the fog and clouds, and I knew I would have to fly the drone up here. I wasn't disappointed. You can see here that when the warm solar rays touch the mossy lava fields, steam starts to rise out of the damp foliage, almost looking like fresh green lava cooling down after a recent eruption. Upon arriving in Arnarstapi, we made a stop at a new pizza joint that's recently opened up here, and it gets my hungry tick of approval. After our meal, we strolled down the coast and wandered along the walking paths to all the fascinating lava rock formations that dot the shoreline. These were featured in our very first episode on the peninsula nearly 2 years ago. I'll pop a link up to the top for that one. Okay, that about wraps it up for Arnarstapi. I think we were quite lucky to catch the sun. Literally as soon as we pulled into the town, the clouds parted and the sunshine came down on us. Next stop, one of those volcanic craters out on the western edge of the peninsula. Let's check it out.
Right, so we decided to make a quick stop here at Hólahólar, one of my favorite craters on the western edge of the peninsula. Not really too sure how much longer the sun is going to last, so we thought we'd make the most of it. And well, you can probably see behind me, Snæfellsnes in the distance. What a spot this is. I'm going to shoot the drone up and see what else we can find.
We ended up hiking a bit around the crater rim of this ancient volcano to admire the views of the distant glacier, and of course to lay on the moss and enjoy the sun. Next up on our trip was the famous mountain Kirkjufell. Stunning as always. I didn't take much footage here since I've shown it many times in previous episodes on the peninsula, so go check them out.
Okay, so that about wraps it up for episode 4 out here on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula. Finishing up the day at one of my favorite spots here, the Berserkjahraun, or the Berserker lava field. Always love coming through this place. If you check my Instagram as well from a couple of weeks ago, well, probably a couple of months ago now that I think about it, I've got some amazing photos out here in my Viking costume. So make sure you check that out. Follow me there. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, of course, all the typical sort of YouTube stuff for the channel. In addition to that, if you ever want to get in touch with me, I'll pop those QR codes up on the screen. You can contact me on my Instagram, alternatively on my WhatsApp as well, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with some holiday or tour planning out here in Iceland. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video.
The landscape out here is truly remarkable and for sure a must-see spot on the peninsula. You will, however, need a 4x4 to access it, as the road through the lava field isn't in the best condition. Thanks once again for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.